Hi everyone, welcome to Aeryn Tarot and welcome to this week's Tarot and Numerology reading for all signs. Because this is a reading for all signs, maybe not all of the messages will apply to you, but I hope that at least one phrase or one keyword will be of great help for you this week. And if you see this video on a different date, then don't worry, the messages will still apply, because the universe sends us signals in many different ways and the timing is always perfect. So if you see this video now, it means that the universe has a message for you that is contained within this video. I hope you're all having a great time. We're having the Mercury retrograde right now, so there might be problems with electronic messages, emails, messages, and also devices or apps might not work as usual, ATMs for example. And Mercury is opposite to Jupiter, so yeah, actually it's hitting me quite hard. I have really weird problems with my emails and attachments won't work. But yeah, let's go through this. It's until October 1st. So let's hang in there. I'm gonna pull 3 cards as always. And I'm also going to pull an oracle card. It's the Find Your Light oracle card. Okay, so let's check how the energy of the week will be. Let's start with the beginning of the week. Wow, we have Judgment. We had Judgment last week as well. Okay, in the middle of the week, we have the Well in reverse. The Well is an original card for this tarot deck. It's the ethereal tarot. I'm gonna explain this later. And then for the end of the week, we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. Okay, I see. And then the oracle card says, wow, I feel brave. This is super empowering. Okay, so let's start with the beginning of the week. We have the Judgment card, and we had that last week in the middle of the week, I think. And the Judgment card is your inner voice talking to you. You see how these souls are being freed? It's kind of like, oh, finally, I'm free. And so this is the feeling you will have in the beginning of the week. You feel like you can finally embrace a truth, or you can finally be the way you want to be, or you can finally breathe because you are released from something that has burdened you or that has been a struggle for you. It's feeling liberated because you have listened to your inner guidance. You can see that the angel here, she's closing her eyes, and this is really you listening to your inner voice. You tune inwards, you close your eyes, you shut out all the noise that is surrounding you, and you go inward, and that will lead to a new change. It's like a new start, or a change that finally comes because you had the courage to listen to your inner voice and to do and to act according to it. It's not always easy to listen to the inner voice, because sometimes the inner voice might tell you something that you are not ready to face, or that you are not willing to face in this moment. And so it takes courage to be honest and to really face your inner truth. But doing so will lead to liberty. It will release you from something, and you will feel so relieved, and it's kind of like an awakening, because you have turned inwards, because you have listened to something that you have tried to turn away from, or to kind of resist or deny. You can see here there is this shadow, and you have to go through the shadow in order to reach the light. So don't be afraid to face your inner demons. Don't be afraid to face your shadow side. So rather than turning away, it's better in the beginning of the week to face what you don't like about you, or what you have said, or how you behave. There might be certain things that you are ashamed of, or that you don't like about you, but the cards are saying do face it, because there is an answer or a key that you can find when you go through that tunnel, and that will lead to this feeling of finally I have reached this space and this stage of being released from something that has pulled you down. In the middle of the week, we have the well in reverse, and that shows me that it's not easy to listen to the inner voice. Maybe you have not succeeded, or it was more difficult than you thought. It didn't go successfully, and that is why you are in this situation, which is, so the well, usually when it's like this, it's the card of the origin. It explains that the source is from which everything emerges and starts. So this is the well of all of your inspirations and your ideas and your motivation. This is where everything begins. It's the source of everything. It's from which you get insights and ideas, and you get inspired, and you're very tuned into your intuition. However, this card is in reverse, so it shows me that you have tried in the beginning of the week to really connect to your inner voice and to face your demons, your fears, but maybe you ended up not really facing it. You, as usual, maybe procrastinated, or you found an escape. You switched your mind to something else, maybe checked social media and or I don't know, maybe you changed the topic in your head because you didn't want to face something. And so as a result, in the middle of the week, there is something that is lingering in your head the whole time, and it's swirling in your head like in repeat and on a loop. And so you have this thought, or something that is annoying you, or something that is kind of restricting you and making you feel limited. And to me, I feel like this is your self-judgment, because in the beginning of the week we have the judgment card, and I feel like it's supposed to free you from your inner critic, that voice that is in your head that is not friendly to you, but more like very strict to you, and also kind of punishing you. Maybe in your head you want to punish yourself for something that you have done, or something that you have said, because you're so ashamed of it, and because you think that was so wrong of you to do or to say, and so therefore it's lingering in your head the whole time, and you go over the same scene again and again, because you try to understand everything, and you try to kind of analyze things, but no matter how many times you go over it, go through it, you end up blaming yourself again, and then doubting yourself again, and then judging yourself again. So this is obviously not productive. That's why it's in reverse. So you are not really inspired. You're not really creative, because you are still stuck in the past. This has already, it's done. There's nothing that you can change about it anymore. However, it's still surrounding you the whole time, and so it keeps you kind of stuck. You become stagnant. You cannot move forward. You cannot listen to your intuition because you're in the mind the whole time. Intuition comes from the heart. It comes from living in the present moment. But if you are thinking about something the whole time, it means that you are in your head. But the head cannot live in the present moment. The head is not in the now. The mind is always either in the past or either in the future, assuming things, imagining things, or remembering the past and going back to memory the whole time. So you're not living in the present moment, which means that you cannot be creative, you cannot be inspired, because obviously you're not in spirit. You're mostly in your head in the middle of the week. So be careful. It's easier said than done. But I really, because it's kind of like a smoke that is surrounding this woman. So if you're in this smoke anyways, then I would suggest then really face it and really take this time to accept yourself and to stop with that self-judgment and negative self-talk, but to accept who you are. And this is also a part of who you are. This is one reality, and it's something that you don't have to deny or kind of try to cut off. We're all not perfect. We all make mistakes. We all do bad things and say bad things, and even if it wasn't meant to, sometimes we do mean to, and so it's part of who we are. It's not, we're not all angels, we're not all saints, right? We have our weaknesses, but that is also part of who we are. It's the duality in life. We are also like a coin. We have this facade that everybody knows, but then we also have the inner realm that we don't show to everybody. And we have a very happy and bright side, and we have also our negative sides, and we're all equal in that sense. Nobody's perfect. So instead of punishing yourself and kind of judging yourself really harshly, if you judge yourself very harshly, it means you automatically judge others very harshly. So it's not good anyways. It's not very productive energy. So try to accept things and try to accept who you are. And also try to accept your shadow side. Maybe it's not so bad as you think. Maybe we're just living in a time where in our society and in our times it's seen as bad, but maybe it's not the universal cosmic truth. I mean, who knows what the truth is? All this notion of what is good and what is bad is so changeable within time and also within the different cultures, no? So don't be too stuck in your self-pity in the middle of the week. At the end of the week, we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. And that also shows me that it's kind of this negative self-talk is still continuing until the end of the week, because things are not gonna go smoothly. Usually, if the 8 of Wands is like this, it means that everything goes smoothly and everybody's on the same page and things go very well and it's very efficient and yeah, everything is in alignment and it feels good and everything goes smooth like butter. But here it's in reverse. So it's not smooth like butter. It's really, many things will get stuck and people will not be on alignment or agreement with each other. And the methods will not work out. There will also be a delay or something will be postponed. And so I wouldn't schedule too many things at the end of the week. Maybe it's better to not have many like important meetings or things to get done this weekend, but rather go within, because it is obviously not something is not being healed. And so it's kind of this is like the 3 layers. No, it's like deep inside of you, and then you facing you, and then you in society. So it kind of manifests in your outside circumstances the way you feel. So I would really be careful about your self-talk, and also how you not only judge yourself, but as I said before, it automatically also shifts to how you judge others. So don't be too harsh on others. If things are not going well, it's not good to blame it on other people, but it's also not good to be too harsh on yourself and to kind of punish yourself because things are not going smoothly. It's just, you know, sometimes there's always ups and downs in life. So it's better to be flexible at the end of the week. So anticipate that there will be some unexpected changes or something not going really well or smoothly. And be flexible, be open, and be ready to alter your actions accordingly. It can also mean that there are lots of tasks coming in. So at the end of the week, suddenly you have like loads of work. And then it's like, oh man, are you serious? Or it could mean that you have so many things that you want to do and accomplish. However, you feel kind of stuck, right? So there is this discrepancy between what your ideal is, what you want and desire, versus how the reality is and where you are right now. And so it's kind of clashing, and it annoys you so much that you have all this planned and you wanted to do all this, and now you know that you can't, or you're facing the fact that it's gonna take longer than you have hoped. So don't be too bummed about it. It's okay. I mean, sometimes things take time, and sometimes, you know, we're not in the mood, and sometimes there is a Mercury retrograde, and sometimes the Mercury is opposite to Jupiter. So things do not get done smoothly, and it's you know, in the stars, the planets are moving. We're all getting the effects and the influence from the planets. So there's no need to be angry and no need to be stressed about it, because it's not under our control. We're not able to control everything. Sometimes we just have to go with the current, with the flow. And that requires to be flexible and to be open. The oracle card says, I feel brave, and it's so wonderful. It's such a nice message after hearing how the week will be, no? Because it's all up to us, actually. We need to be brave, to be willing to accept ourselves, accept our mistakes and our quirks, our good sides as well as our bad sides, and to also accept how things are in life. Sometimes we get busy, sometimes things do not go our way, but it really takes courage to look within and to listen to our inner voice, and it takes courage to face something that we actually don't want to face, but we have to do it in order to be able to move on. Otherwise, it's gonna come again and again, and the same topic will emerge in our life in different aspects, at work, in our friendship, in relationships, and also in our family. So before things get too kind of in your face, because the universe tends to send us more and more stronger messages, right? So when you ignore a message, it's gonna come back to you again and again, but in a stronger version. So then it's better to face it now and to fix things now, no? And that requires courage. And this fairy, she looks kind of, wait a second. She looks like a fairy, but also like a mermaid at the same time to me, with the butterflies and the fishes. So it's like she is a mix of two worlds. And so this to me shows me that we are all authentic, we're all unique, and it's okay to have both, because we all have both sides. We have good sides and we have bad sides, and it's not about which is better and which is correct and which is wrong. It's about understanding that both is okay and both do exist, right? It's not black or white, it's black and white. So everything is gray, and there's so many different tones of gray, and that is your uniqueness. So rather than punishing yourself and blaming yourself and judging yourself for not being a certain way, like accept it and embrace it as a unique part of you. This is who you are, otherwise you wouldn't be you, right? So that mistake or that thing that you're so ashamed of, that's also a sign of who you are, and that's okay. And she's showing us that. She's holding two different shells, and both are hers. And it's okay. It's not about which shell is better. It's I have both and I am both. Our society can be so harsh sometimes because it influences us in so many different ways to be different, and it kind of shows us that, you know, we're not good enough and we don't have enough. But this card is so empowering because it shows that we have everything already, and it's not that we are not enough. We are enough. It's okay. This is who we are, and we don't have to kind of change everything just because it's the way that things are done in our society, or maybe because somebody has told us to do so. If something is really against your inner truth, then you should say it, and you don't have to do it. If you feel like this is me and there is really no way for me to change this, then maybe this is part of you. But if you feel like there's something that you don't like about you, that there's something that you do want to change, then give it a try, change it. And you can do it right now. It doesn't have to be from January 1st or from when I have this and this. It doesn't have to be conditional, right? You can start right now. If there's something that is pulling you down so hard, then why not give it a try to fix it right now? And just being aware of something alone is very helpful to change a habit. So be brave and accept that you have maybe made a mistake. Accept that maybe there, you know, parts of you that are not very positive. But be brave to give it a try to change it. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try, right? I sometimes feel like if one person tells you one thing to change, maybe, you know, just take it as an advice. But if it doesn't really hit truth in your heart, then, you know, it's just information. But if 5 people or if 10 people tell you the same thing, if they kind of suggest you to improve something, that maybe there is some truth in that. So try to kind of accept it and to integrate it, to take it as a part of you, and to then change it, and then see how things change in your environment and in your daily life. Numerology wise, we have Judgment, so 20, 2 plus 0 is 2. The Well is 22, so 2 plus 22 is 24, 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 8 of 1, 6 plus 8 is 14. And 14 is the, in numerology, is the number for the scribe. So communication is very important. It's communication that you do towards you, but also communication that is between you and others. And especially now during the Mercury retrograde, there might be some problems with communication. So be careful with that. And 14, 1 plus 4 is 5, and 5 is the number for change. So the numerology also is suggesting you to take a different approach, because if you always do the same thing with the same kind of mindset, then of course the same theme will reoccur. It will come back to you again and again. So take this week to make a change, and then maybe your outcome will change. It doesn't hurt to give it a try, so be brave and take a different approach, and try to really especially change the way you talk with yourself internally. Stop with the judgment, stop with the self-judging and self-blaming and self-pity, and be more like a friend to you. I mean, a friend wouldn't pull you down the whole time, no? A friend would tell you, okay, this and that wasn't so cool, so that's better if you can change that in the future or from now on. But your friend will also have the patience to wait for you and to kind of guide you and to tell you when he or she notices that you're doing it again. And it's not, judging or attacking. It's for your own good. It's for your improvement. And that's a friend, to honestly tell you, hey, I don't think it's really nice when you do this, or I don't think it's very good if you do certain things in a certain way. And so this can also be the way that you talk to you, like you would to a friend. The energy right now is harsh enough, so you don't have to add more aggressiveness or harshness to the language that you use. So the message of the week is to stop with the negative self-talk. In the beginning of the week, listen to your inner voice and face your shadows. I know it's super hard, but sit down and write it down or think about it. Where did it come from? Where did it all start? Why do you think that way, and why do you do it that way? How could you change that behavior? In the middle of the week, you will not be so productive because you will feel like you're stuck. And that is because you have this recurring thought in your head that is repeated in your mind. It could be negative self-talk, it could be some memory, and it will kind of stop you from moving forward. So try to shift your awareness from your mind down to your heart, and try to live in the present moment, live in the now. Try to listen to your intuition instead of listening to your mind. At the end of the week, things will not go very smoothly at work or your personal life, because there will be maybe lots of tasks or lots of things that you want to do or that you have to do, but you can't time-wise, or you can't energetically. So again, instead of starting again with your negative self-talk, be careful what kind of words you use. And really be careful with the communication that you have with others, because that could prevent you from having tasks done smoothly. If you have the bravery to really accept all aspects of you, then that could lead to your awakening. You can also hear your inner voice much better if you accept all aspects of you. Facing your shadow will give you a big hint, a big answer about your uniqueness and your authenticity. So I know it sounds kind of contradictory, but don't be too harsh on yourself, while at the same time accept it when other people point out a negative part of you. And accept it when you get messages or signals about the shadow sides of you. Because it's all part of yourself that needs to be integrated, and it can only be integrated if you really look at it. You cannot integrate the wholeness of you if there are certain parts of you that you neglect or ignore or try to like sweep away as if it didn't exist or wasn't there in the first place. So turn inwards, close your eyes, meditate, and listen to all of the voices inside of you, all of the aspects of you, because there might be a message that they're trying to send you, something that you need to notice. And once you can listen to that and accept it, it will lead to such a wholeness that is very empowering and encouraging, because you stop being so judgmental and so strict on you. It's okay if there are things that you cannot control with your own power. It's okay to just surrender and to release. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, please send me an email with your name, your date of birth, and your questions to the tarot. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Don't forget, everything will be okay. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.